Good evening. I'd like to call the Clover Garden School June 27th, 2023 Board of Directors.
Sorry, one second. Hang on one second. Okay. All right. Sorry, it's saying that we're live. We're going to go ahead and operate as we are, but I'm having some errors popping up on the actual video. So hopefully the audio will work just fine. So just in case. Thank you. I'm sorry.
So we're good to go? Okay. I'd like to call Clover Garden School Board of Directors meeting June 27th, 2023 to order at 6:36 p.m. Ms. Verhaken, role of the board and mission.
Yes, ma'am. We are entrusted to care for the current school and stay focused on the vision for the future school. No trust, no unity, no progress. Mission of Clover Garden School. Clover Garden School will foster community, generate enthusiasm, challenge students academically, and produce successful citizens.
Thank you. Has everyone had a chance to review tonight's agenda?
Yes.
Any questions or changes? Do I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
Motion.
Mr. Huffines, second. Mr. Russell, all in favor? And Ms. Jackson, can you see us, or do we need to call out each vote?
I'm assuming that was unanimous, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are 5 board members today.
Yes. You good? Okay.
Just let me know if it is if someone is a no or
Okay.
abstain, and then I'll assume 5.
Okay. Thank you. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes from the June 13th, 2023 meeting? Are there any changes or questions about those minutes? So I have a motion to approve the June 13th, 2023 meeting minutes. Ms. Foster, second.
Randy?
Thank you, Ms. Russell. All in favor? Ms. Verhaken, do we have anyone for public comment?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. That moves us to finances. Ms. Simmons.
Yes,
Just
ma'am.
have the budget tonight that you provided, correct?
Yes, ma'am. The final approval, and I have sent it to you as well for signature and via DocuSign.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Has everyone had a chance to review that budget? Are there questions? Okay, so do I have a motion to approve the 2023-2024 budget? Mr. Russell, second. Do I have it to Mr. Huffines? All in favor? Approval. 2023. Thank you.
Thank you.
We do not have any academics or old business. For governance, for committee updates, we're going to bypass looking at getting an individual update for each committee. We'll catch back up in July. That moves us to policies and procedure updates. Ms. Simmons.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. In the board drive has also, we have a policy and procedures update summary. So I'm just going to speak about the bullet points real quick. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. But the updates that we're proposing for the 2023-2024 policies and procedures, we went through and updated all of our benefit links, and we added a large section regarding the Family Medical Leave Act and other leave policies, UTO, for unpaid time off. And that whole section is listed in the summary. And then we also added a policy that was voted on in October 2022. We added it into that, into the policy and procedure manual, but that was the child fine policy. So those were the major changes in the policies and procedures handbook or manual. So I would just ask a vote for approval for those updated changes. and of course, if you have any questions.
Has everyone had a chance to review those policies since posted? Are there any questions? No questions? Do I have a motion to approve the policy and procedure changes as presented? Ms. Russell? Do I have a second? Ms. Foster? All in favor? Thank you. Okay, that moves us on to the staff handbook and the updates there. Ms. Verakin.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. So this is just one of the things we update every year annually. We do have a new staff orientation tomorrow, so we're excited about that. We anticipate about 15 folks joining our Clever Garden School family. So we will be doing some training with them tomorrow. So some of the staff handbook updates that we made were minimal. And so we just kind of listed out. It is also, the summary is also in the board drive, but just some things that we thought might be significant that would be updates as to what's already in there. So one of those included just updating our 30-day notice policy for resignation, kind of what that looks like. That was kind of an unwritten rule, and just, you know, we kind of let them know that it was a 30-day notice. But we actually put it in writing now. Hang on one second.
I can go ahead and continue just for time's sake, no problem.
Yep.
So the next item is no, she's
I
back.
gotcha.
No, you're good.
I'm sorry, guys. Thank you. So the second one, so that had to do with the 30-day written notice, making sure that they are, they understand that. Second piece of that is the bereavement leave. So we had, of course, bereavement's always been part of our policies and in our handbook, but this one made it more specific as to who it applied to and what exactly that entailed. Some other updates that we did, we updated the blackout period. That is where we do not allow any time off. Currently, that is at the beginning of the school year and at the end of the school year, which is our busiest times. But we did update that to only apply to 10-month employees and not 12-month employees. Overtime policy. So this year we had to make some changes here. So we need to make sure we had an overtime policy in place. This exists for non-exempt employees who exceed 40 hours of work time in a work week. So we had to put a policy in there for that, as well as overtime approval. And then, of course, consequences of unauthorized overtime. So this is the first year we've actually had to keep track of and calculate overtime hours. And the only other things that we added or updated had to do with unpaid time off. And it had to do with like sick leave balances, you know, when they were low, putting some restrictions on those. And the last thing I took out and updated was our belief statement. Our belief statement in both of our handbooks, that hasn't been updated in over 10 years and was done with a staff that, you know, a lot of them are no longer at Clever Garden School. So I took that out because I would like for the board in conjunction with the staff to create a new belief statement for us to include maybe in next year's handbooks. And that was it. Any questions about those?
Everyone's had a chance to review those changes. Okay, do I have a motion to approve the updates to the staff handbook as presented for the 2023-2024 school year? Mr. Huffine, second. Mr. Russell, all in favor? Next, Ms. Verakin, is the Title I School Parent Compact.
Ma'am, so when we were audited last year for our Title I audit, our monitoring visit, some of the things that we presented to you guys were action items that we had to correct and or make changes to. One of those had to do with our school parent compact. We didn't necessarily have a school parent compact before. We kind of had a version of that, which we called our parent partnership agreement. And so what we did was we had to update our old partnership agreement and create a new school compact. So it's still a partnership between the school and the parent, but we had to update it to adhere to the ESSA guidelines and the general statute requirements for legislation. So if you just want to peruse that, take a look at that. If there are any other changes or updates you'd like us to make, we welcome the feedback. Ms. Simmons has been fantastic. She has created a Title I committee, and that is comprised of some of our families, some of our parents, some of our staff members. And so they've been given some good feedback in regards to the school parent compact. So the things that are listed in this, just to kind of give you an overview, again, it is required as part of the SL legislation, but this has to do with like overall expectations for the staff, expectations for our families, expectations for our kids. So it's a really cool document. Our partnership agreement I have used frequently, had to refer back to in various situations throughout the school year. So this is a really nice example of like just laying it out. What do we promise to do? What do you promise to do? You know, as a parent, what do you promise to do as a student? And so we tried to be very short and sweet, and kind of kept to the point when it came to expectations for our families and our students. But also, what do I do if I have an issue or I feel like someone's not upholding their end of the agreement? You know, so anyway, there's some, steps for how to address those concerns towards the bottom of that document. So again, this was a compliance requirement that we updated our current document to adhere to the ESSA standards. So like I said, if there's any questions or feedback, I welcome that.
Has everyone had a chance to review that compact? Questions, concerns? Do I have a motion to approve the Clover Garden School parent compact for the 23-24 school year? Ms. Russell, do I have a second? Ms. Foster, all in favor? Okay, that moves us on to the Title I Parent Family Engagement Policy. Ms. Simmons.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Ms. Verhagen. We also, the Title I committee met and received feedback on updates and suggested changes for the parent family engagement policy. This was also a reflection of our audit. And so we got this feedback from the Title I committee, and Ms. Verhagen and I met and added the ESSA legal requirements that keeps us in compliance. Those were the only suggestions that the Title I committee had, and that has also been out there for review. The changes were very minimal. They were more just legal requirements that we had to add in there on that one.
Has everyone had a chance to review that? Any questions, changes, comments? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the Title I Parent Family Engagement Policy? Mr. Huffine, second. Ms. Russell, all in favor? Do we have any other items or business for this meeting?
Ma'am.
That's it? Okay. Our next meeting is scheduled for July 11th at 6:30 p.m. Do I have a motion for adjournment? Mr. Russell, second. Mr. Huffines, all in favor? Please make note at 6:50 p.m. Clover Garden School Board of Directors meeting is now closed. Have a great evening, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.